Hello? Hi! Hello, Bella. Hello, Mary. Hello. Butt wiggles. Do I need a butt wiggle emote? Thank you for the buddy shout out. Thank you. How is everyone today? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Red. Guys. Guys. You're the coolest. I have nothing to say actually. Need to see Twig shake that at my tongue. You want the Twig one? I'm sorry for the squeaky chair. Oh, okay. I haven't made the pamphlet yet, or I guess it's not really a pamphlet, but announcement. But Scare Me stream is gonna be on the 19th this month. And I think I was doing some math last night, and I wanted it to originally be to raise money for merch. And then I realized how much that is. And I don't think we'll get there. Maybe one day, guys. One day. I think I'll have, our biggest goal will be for, keychain merch. But I originally wanted to do, like, keychain and t-shirt and a cup. I think it was a cup? No, it was a poster. I wanted to do posters. But, nah, it's way too expensive. So we'll just try to do the keychain. Hi, stranger. Hello. I was just talking about my Scare Me stream, where you guys use bits and donations to scare the heck out of me. Balls. Balls. We will raise money for a silent chair. I did jump just a little. I forgot that balls was a thing. How could how could I forget? Balls. I do have a little bit of a headache today, so stream might be a tad shorter than normal. And I'm sorry I started late. I didn't get food until not that long ago, and then I had to eat. How are we doing today? Everyone's got head pet emotes. I almost want to do a just chatting stream. Because of my headache. I don't know if I'm gonna be very good at being little boatman. Balls. And now I'm turning my headphones down. Because of balls. I'm doing great. Minus the fact that tomorrow we have an item going on, like a really big sale. It's originally like $6 and it's going on sale for $1. And so I have a lot of work to do tomorrow, and I'm scared. I'm scared. Thank you for the head pats. I think we're just gonna do a just chatting stream for a while. Until I feel okay to play the game. How's that sound? We'll just vibe? I never do just chatting. Let's change the category for a while. Imagine just chatting with the chat. Impossible. Impossible. I do want to play the game. I just want to give my head a little bit of time. Anyone got any cool October plans? I really want to go to get like apple cider and a pumpkin. I'm about to eat at a fancy restaurant, which is bad because I'm picky as heck. Me too! I hate it. I hate it. I have a problem with food. Me and food have a complicated relationship. Oh. I hope you find something that you like, stranger. I got hiccups. Okay, on the 19th, when we do a spooky stream, it's gonna be, there's 2 games you guys can join. I think it's 2. At least 1. Which is SCP, Containment Breach. I have to figure out how the servers work, but my entire October is summed up in 4 words. Roman find a job. You can do it. Stranger, what? I'm gonna try not to go to jail on Sunday. What are you doing on Sunday? 5 words. Maybe not the best idea in the game. Today I asked to change from part-time to full-time at work because I need more money. But it also means I'm gonna be a little bit more tired. Which probably means more, like art streams. A reminder that my commissions are open, please, please, please. Please spread the word. Share it to all your friends. Any VTubers you know who are looking for a model. Silly, funny, chibi models. Or emotes. Spread the word, but me and everyone I know is bored. I know. Me too. That's just how it is. Being an artist is difficult. There's a reason for the phrase, I forget it. Oh, starving artist. My nephew's birthday, and his dad, someone I used to consider my brother, crappy human who I'm done with, and if he tries anything, I no longer have any patience with him. Maybe, like, should he even be invited? Sounds like a problem. I've been through similar things though, I understand. It's really sucky. I really want to get custom chat box. Sounds nice to have. Yes, stay safe. And everyone around you stay safe. It's his kid's birthday, so we can't not invite him. I'm not the one in charge, my mom is, and for some reason she continues to think he'll get better. See, growing up, my parents, my first birthday party, the only one, my first birthday party is the only party that my parents put together. they weren't even together, but my grandparents were like, it's her first birthday party. It's gonna be one big party. After that, they never talked to each other again. And I'm not kidding. I am never safe, I am the danger. Hi, Clever. Hi. Growing up in Ohio. Yep. You had birthday parties? I remember a couple. And I've seen pictures. Don't you else feel bad when people's birthday parties? I guess it depends on who the people are. Like one year I was my grandma, when I lived with her, she threw me a surprise birthday party. But it was literally just during Easter dinner when all the family was already there. All they did was pull out a cake. I'm not complaining, I got cake. And it was actually cake I liked. Nobody remembers my birthday except my grandma. She just throws money at me on my birthday. That's cool. I like money. Yeah, my birthday's in April. Heck yeah, dude, spring babies. Actually, do we have the same season? Do we have the same... Yeah, I was gonna say. It's spring for me. April is spring for me. Although sometimes it does feel like fall. You know it's rained on my birthday every single year? That I can remember, obviously. I don't know if it has every year for 23 years on the same day. Was my B-Day dinner coming up? I'm gonna try to make it so he's not there. Yes. Valid. The skies are crying because they have to smell you stinking for one more year. That's rude! Whoa, YouTube's video. Okay, I'm gonna go change that now. For the last, 3 streams, I've meant to change this YouTube video link to the new video, and I'm just... Yeah, we're gonna do that now. Whoa, YouTube's video. Are you pulling a Discord right now? But you can't screenshot in the chat. Funnily enough, other relatives have considered me the bad child who does nothing and never give me gifts? Oh no! That's interesting. For the first good half of my life, both sides of my family went like extra for my birthdays and stuff because I was the first grandchild. First grandkid, so everyone was very excited. But then, you know, a few years later, my uncles and aunts started having kids, so I was no longer the cool kid. I was no longer the cool one. Yeah, I'm the first grandkid on both sides. Scapegoat. Yeah, no, you guys can post links in my chat. Because I have good mods who will, snipe anyone who posts bad links. East. Okay, it should be the new YouTube video now. We'll see. You're both sides of your family are first grandkid too? You cheat? Well, I don't have aunts or uncles. Ah, I see. On your mom's side. Spider thistle? I'm not a spider, I'm an imp. Yeah. Stranger's the spider. What didn't send? Oh, I'm a little sad that this model is just for October. Like, do I rebrand? Because I really like it. Emojis hate you? Oh, having issues? I have to I literally can only have OBS on my screen right now. I can't have any other tabs because it's too bright. It's too bright for my headache. So I'm just, everything is shoved away in a corner. All of my apps that I usually have open so I can pay attention to things are minimized. Hear my suggestion? Make a channel like redemption? Yeah, I was gonna do that anyway, but what if I always wanna be? I'll buy it and become emo thistle for every month that isn't October. The redemption is a good idea, Clever. You miscalculated this command thistle because it's impossible to hear your baby voice over calls. Balls. It's supposed to be loud for the funny. Oi! Oi! Balls. 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 We should watch some clips from yesterday's stream. How many are there? How many are there? Oh, my eyeballs. Balls. I love trying to move in Blender and just needing to drive my mouse out of the screen. Blender, my computer would have a fit. I think it would freeze a lot. Time to go. See you later. Bye, stranger. Have a good night. It was you going to get food, right? Have good food. I hope you can find good food. Twig's got a mustache. You think I can? Man, no one took clips yesterday. Well, I guess they're on Gamer's account. All of our computers are bad. Well, mine's not terrible. It definitely needs cleaned. Ugh. I don't know how to. I don't have a bad computer, I have a bad internet. I have good internet, well, okay internet. I paid for it. I paid the internet bill. I got bills, chat. I got bills. I'm an adult. I found out how to render, but it takes 10 hours. And you can't touch it. You can't touch the computer while it's rendering. That's me when I'm uploading a YouTube video. But it does not take that long. It takes maybe an hour. Usually not even an hour. Or I don't have bad internet, I just have selective internet. Oh, I definitely have that. Like, at least once a week, and I don't know when during the week. My internet just doesn't work for like 2 hours past 12 or 1 a.m. Like super late in the night, it'll just go out for random reasons. Have a safe drive home, Shadow. Bye bye. I don't know, man. See, I want to rebrand to this, but it would just be so difficult. And I don't think people would like it. But I am definitely gonna put it as a redemption to switch to this model. Yeah, I like all of my stuff is, and it's so much stuff. It's all red hair or orange hair thistle. Yeah, it was a good suggestion. I'm gonna use it. Oh, I'm gonna read off to you guys the games that we're gonna play during spooky stream, okay? Let me grab the list. Okay. SCP Containment Breach, which is multiplayer. That's a game that all of you guys can join. Phasma. You should have thought about it before you made an avatar that is more similar to you IRL than your actual model. Yeah. You're right. It's okay. I'll be normal fairy. Oh, I'm not doing Fortnite today. We're doing just chatting and possibly dredge if my headache goes away. I'm dying currently. It's so bad. Okay. So SCP Containment Breach, which has a player limit of 64 or something like that. And it's I don't know what order we're gonna play these games in. Like, no idea what order we're gonna play the games in, but Phasma, Inside the Backrooms, In Silence, Dead by Daylight, which will also be open for chat to join, and GTFO. So I've got some games to buy. I'm really excited to play GTFO, guys. Are you excited to watch? You know how spooky that game is? We're gonna die so much. Thought you owned all those games already? No. I mean, I own Dead by Daylight, Phasmo, and In Silence. I just have to buy Inside the Backrooms and GTFO. The game itself tells you to get out. I think it needs to be scary. Yeah. Do you know what it is? You wanna watch a trailer? I'll get you excited about the game. You know a bit about it? I've watched Markiplier play it, like Markiplier and his friends play it, and it looks so fun but so stressful. And I'm down for it. The guy who talks about virus stuff from movies and games. Oh, so he covered that one then. Have you ever just why yes. Watch his videos on GTFO. Could you send me it? I'd be interested in watching that. Thank you, Clever. I also need to watch a thing about Phasmo before we play. So, at least one of us knows a little bit about what they changed in the game. Just as a heads up, he is kind of rude sometimes. That's alright. I'll still watch it. I'm just interested. We'll see if I finish the video. What else was I gonna talk about? Oh, don't forget to vote on movie night in the Discord. There is a vote room on my Discord, and let's see what. It's Sunday. Our movie night's Sunday at 7 p.m. EST, and your choices are Coraline, Corpse Bride, or Paranorman. I thought I would stick to like one theme within the horror theme. These ones aren't like super scary, so we're starting off with stuff that's like more casual horror. It's not actual horror, it's like silly. Except for Coraline. Coraline is terrifying. But I thought I really wanted Coraline to be one of the options, so I was like, alright, let's just pick 2 other claymation ones. Because I really like claymation. Did you guys know that one of my dream jobs was claymation? And I've never even done it. But I know a lot about it. You wanna watch the video during the stream? Yeah, we can do that. Fun fact about Coraline. The director, or Neil, the writer of the book, thought the movie was too scary for children, so he made his daughter watch it. Oh my god. His daughter said it was not scary, and the movie was released. His daughter lied. She definitely did, because my friend was just telling me today about how she waited to watch it until she was like 13 because she was too scared as a kid. I get it. Yeah, that's a scary movie. Oh, there's no chaos in this model, but I can make it. Hold on. Let's see. We'll do a Jumino. Now. And we'll do one of these. And a chocolate milk. Now come back here. The milk. There you go. Chaos. Oh, I absolutely love Coraline. Always loved you. You can point at me and go, "This boy ain't ready." Oh, Monster House. Yeah, I watched Monster House a lot as a kid. I need to. Okay, we're starting a list now because I went to the other day, and I'm definitely gonna forget that Monster House exists by the next voting. Hold on. I'm also gonna put that one movie that everyone watches every single year on like YouTube. It's a witch and a little girl, and I forget what it's called. I'll ask my mom. She would put it on every year. Another fun fact, this one is personal. My cousin, who was older than me, when we were kids, she broke the DVD of Monster House her family owned because she was that scared of the movie. Oh my gosh. Find me something that will scare me? That sounds like a tall order. Did you send me that video? Yes. I'm in streamer mode, so I didn't get the notification. Alright, we're gonna watch a video on stream, guys. Courtesy of Clever. We're gonna go to this screen. And we're gonna turn my desk mask off. Get it out of the way. Window capture. Window capture. I forgot yesterday we were window capturing gamer stream. That's why this is all weird. Okay, full screen. Full screen. Boop. And we'll meet me to the corner. Baby in the corner. Turn off the music. Boop. And unmute Chrome.
Parasites are creatures that have plagued humanity likely since the very beginning. As we've evolved on this planet and built societies, structures, fleshed out the medical field, and even left Earth itself, these animals have been a constant, unwanted companion. Infiltrating our bodies, they use our meat suits for nourishment and shelter, all while our bodies
There is only one thing that scares me, and it's a
Honda
Honda Civic.
Of course, that was the
Grid
generalized
auto
thinking for a
support.
very long time. Almost as if
Oh my
ironically,
gosh.
with a cruel joke, we may actually rely on parasites more
It's
than
good.
we think
Audio's good.
we would
Good.
ever have to maintain homeostasis within our bodies. Due to our evolutionary pathways and the constant threat that parasites pose to our well-being, our meat mechs appear to have just straight up decided to coexist. And in return, we receive a calmer immune system which is soothed by the parasites that inhabit our bodies. Like, I don't like it anymore.
He is a
than you do, but
microbiologist.
It's becoming
Okay.
increasingly obvious and backed by studies that allergies
So he has
in this
strong
modern
opinions
era
about
may
this.
actually be because we lack these parasites. With this cursed knowledge in our heads, because if it has to be in mine, then it has to be in yours, the one takeaway is this. Parasites, despite the fact that they cause illness, deformities, and in some cases just straight up end you, still serve a purpose in your body in one form or another because they have evolved with humanity.
Because we
just
lack
like humanity has
balls.
evolved
That's
with
true.
them. They fit together like puzzle pieces, and removing them gives us an incomplete picture. Now take that concept and apply it to the devil worms and Back for Blood. Observing the teeming hordes and the state that people's bodies are in, you will see that there does not appear to be any benefit to contracting this worm. In fact, it is essentially all detriment as it wipes out not only most of humanity, but any animal caught in its way. All native fauna on Earth become what amounts to just one giant buffet. But even then, the human body has at its disposal natural defenses in order to defend itself against the invasion of parasites, at least Earth parasites. While not fully successful in most, some still appear to be completely immune to even the devil worm infestation. So in today's episode, we'll talk about what the origins of these worms are, what they are capable of, how they went on to infest Earth, and what they do to the animal body, whether it be human or otherwise. But first, this episode is sponsored by NordVPN. I feel like every time I make these, the internet just continues to get worse. But luckily, there's a way to protect yourself by completely obscuring where you are even located. Heading to nordvpn.com/Roanoke or clicking the link in the description, you can pick yourself up a 2-year plan at a huge discount and then get an additional 4 months free.
Skip.
NordVPN is something nowadays, it's really just great to have.
I don't have video
People online are always
markers.
looking for others to either really didn't care. The game is an absolute blast and a sweat fest on higher difficulties. So because of this, we're going to have to look at a lot of context clues which will tell us about the infection, its outbreak pathway, and what it is capable of surviving, which will also possibly tell us why the infection took over so quickly. The first thing to note about the infection is it began near the Arctic Circle in Pingulet National Park in Quebec, Canada. Now, my pronunciation probably friggin' sucks, but it is what it is. But what's interesting to note about this area is there exists a layer of permafrost on the ground, and that means that it remains permanently frozen until this planet heats up considerably more than it is now. However, after conducting an exploratory search in the Pingulet crater, the devil worm would be discovered and taken back by scientists to begin attempting to work out where its origins may be. And this is when humanity would become officially boned. Jumping from the petri dish, when the water was applied to the worm, it instantly shot back to life and attacked the scientists working with it. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why when you are working with something suspected of being from another planet, you wear your BSL-4 suits. My man over here is just wearing a friggin' lab coat and not even safety glasses with it. Like, that's not gonna do much, dude.
Nope.
This is the absolute mad lad. Regardless, things went completely sideways from here over the next few weeks. As the infection spread across Canada quickly, it would first just result in common infected. While common infected definitely had the capability of infecting, there was a more insidious and quieter process taking place, and that was slipping into the water supply and then infecting people. The worm would move into the sewers and water treatment plants where the standard treatment would not work. And I break off to tell you this as it's incredibly common. If you put cat or dog droppings into your toilet at home, stop that. Wastewater treatment was never designed to take out these type of parasites and microorganisms common to animals. So you might actually be contaminating water by doing that. Fortunately, a lot of people don't realize and think that it's safe to do, but I'm here to tell you. Okay, so off my high horse now. Just know that it's actually fairly common for parasites to survive the water treatment process. So as the devilworm continued to thrive despite standard cleaning methods, it would easily begin entering the drinking water and infect millions in first world countries without really any problem. Getting a look at the map of where the outbreak is, we see all of North America is essentially overrun, with other areas like Cuba and the Caribbean also experiencing outbreaks and also being overrun. I would hesitate to say that the worm can exist within saltwater oceans and would likely be a
To be
freshwater
honest, Canada's
organism
already
based on how
doomed
it didn't
with how
spread from
corrupt
the
their
original
government
crater,
is.
which has
By
saltwater
that
on
logic,
both
I guess
sides.
all countries are
Although that could
doomed, yeah.
arguably be due to the fact that it was permafrost that kept them frozen, but I would also say likely the meteorite that contained this organism would have broken up somewhat over this area, which means the ocean would have been seeded with these worms, and the fact that it wasn't even seen before
He
they
just
found it
punched
in
the
that
worm.
crater means that if any did land into the ocean, then likely the salt water would have gotten rid of it.
Canada's
But as
the
the
inferior
infection
version of
progressed,
Finland.
instances of outright immunity
No,
or
I've
just
been
being
trying to think
incredibly
of where
lucky
I want to
began
live.
popping up. Those with the immunity to the
Like,
devil worm had
permanently.
some ability to resist
Because I
the
definitely
infection,
don't want to
or
stay
if a
in the
person was
United
lucky,
States.
they just never came into contact with the worm in the first place. They never introduced it to the meat. Over the weeks, as the common infected were hunted by remnants of humanity, it would appear the numbers would begin to dwindle. Cleaners began proclaiming that they hadn't seen
Cuba?
a common infected in large numbers in weeks, and instead just
That's
some
broken.
stragglers. However,
We
this
have the
theory would be
video.
utterly annihilated after a few weeks of relative peace as new infection
No, I don't want to go to
forms
Cuba.
arose.
Cuba's
Having
too
no idea
hot,
where they
isn't
were
it?
coming from and how they were created, variants
Is
specific
it still
to breaking
broken?
human defenses began to attack what was left of human settlements as people were attempting to get back on their feet as a species.
Okay,
This
then.
kicked off an entire new struggle for the few left as it became an all-hands-on-deck scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Every person capable of fighting needed to begin doing so. Cleaners were ultimately sent out to secure positions, keep supply lines open, and in general, look for
Sudan?
survivors.
No,
Many
I
would
know
go on to
where-
report that they found large areas of fleshy biomass
Like,
growth. Looking into what the growths were made out of, typically you would find the carcasses of
With extreme
animals
weather.
melted into this biomass, as well as common infected who appear to be fused into the very flesh of the biomass. As you might guess, this would be highly alarming.
I don't
What would
know
come out of
anything
these
about
flesh pits,
that.
however, would be something well beyond the normal limitations of animals on Earth, appearing as huge
Preferably
ogres, and the
English
largest one being
speaking, but it
referred to
doesn't
as
have
the
to be.
abomination. These are presumably the remains of all the infected being cobbled together and having their
He's
biomass
gonna shoot his
utilized for
penis.
frozen creatures. The remnants of humanity are not sure
Not
at this
the
point how
crotch.
many of them there are, but know that they need to start stacking bodies, otherwise it's only a matter of time before they're all overwhelmed. So the first thing to know about the devil worm is it has many devastating effects on the body, but this devastation comes from the fact that there is
You got
no
it
way
covered.
this thing is from Earth. The first clue to this is just the literal crater of where these worms were found. I mean, that in itself is a pretty clear indicator, but coupled with this, there is no way biodiversity
Fair
on this
enough.
planet would survive
I really
something
wanna-
like what the worm does. That's
I
why there's like an
wanna
extinction level
try
event
out
happening
Italy.
in this game. But should it have evolved on this planet, there'd be nothing else left. An animal like
Living in
this,
Europe
with
would
its
be
biomass
nice because
recombination ability, would
traveling
easily
to other
overwhelm the
countries
native
in Europe
fauna
too,
until
and,
it
like,
becomes likely one single
in Europe
conglomerate
would be
organism,
easy.
which we have seen with the abominations. And then you gotta ask yourself,
But
how
Italy
long can
sounds
something
cool,
like that
too.
actually stay alive? Basically, it would just eat everything on the
What?
planet and then run itself
Oh,
into
what?
extinction. So
You're
I
gonna make
believe
me
that the devil
cry?
worm is actually an extraterrestrial. When it touched down and created the crater, we see it was actually in a form of hibernation until it was introduced to the beauty that is liquid water. Landing in the far north, it would have hit an area where snow and ice were common year-round, indicating that there was no reason to come out of hibernation. The meteorite it landed on likely drifted through space, as originally whatever planet the devil worm belonged to would probably have either been hit by an asteroid or was destroyed for some reason. There are a few possibilities concerning its original
three.
planet, however, that may lead to
Dang.
these adaptations that allowed it
That's
to
somewhere
survive
near.
in space. Its planet may have been in a highly elliptical orbit around its sun and with a long orbit time. Swinging in closer to the
Brazil
sun,
and
the worms
Greece?
would move out and then replicate themselves and attack the native fauna of the planet, which would have to have been there given their predatory nature. However, because animals of that planet likely evolved with these worms, then their immune system had a way of probably dealing with these worms, or the worms had a tougher time access to their
Germany?
bodies. Then as the planet swung back out, the water on the planet would freeze, sending the worms into
I
a
don't know.
comatose hibernation state. I mean, these are things that we
I don't know
see
if I
even
like
on
it.
Earth. So it would appear that something happened as the planet swung
Pretty
back
much
out.
speak
And
English
remember,
as
this
your
is
second language. Doesn't
hypothetical,
most
and
countries?
it could help
I don't want to
explain
say
why these creatures
most,
are
but like a
capable of
lot.
doing what they do, but also why they have predatory tendencies. Swinging back out, the planet may have
I don't
collided
know if I
with an
would.
asteroid
Like,
that
I have to
blasted a
also
chunk of
like
rock
their
off the
food,
planet,
right?
and
And
with it, the hibernating worms. Drifting through
don't know
space,
about
they
Germany.
eventually hit Earth, but just so
food is
happened to hit near the Arctic Circle, which based on the environment that they were in, being space, and the hypothesized conditions of their planet, the worms would actually know no difference and
Yeah, I
would
was gonna
remain
say
in
most
hibernation
people
until awakened by the
no,
scientists
at least
who
know
poured
a
water
little
on
bit
them.
of
Now, it may seem
English.
crazy, how could anything survive on a
They eat a
planet
lot
with
of,
these
like,
creatures to begin with,
meat,
but then
beer.
look no further than the concept of an invasive species on our planet. Sometimes creatures lower on the food chain will end up in other
Well, I know
ecosystems
places
and
in
become the
I
top
know like
predator
Italy has
simply
really
because of
good
the adaptations they have formed in a harsher environment and contending with more deadly opposition. This allows
like
them
work-
to completely steamroll in a new environment,
work to
which in
home
turn
life
allows them
ratio.
to flourish at an unprecedented rate as there's no natural predators to keep those numbers in check. Once getting to Earth, that's where
That's
the
a
real
big
fun
thing
begins.
for me.
Because while this species would have had a tougher time contending with the native fauna of its own planet, Earth was ripe for the picking as animal bodies have difficulty removing parasites and combating them effectively anyhow. Infecting the scientists first, as stated, it would move into the water supply to begin infecting others, but what it does to the human meat suit in the first place
Meat
is highly
suit.
fascinating. The first thing to note before moving into the infection process is the structuring of the helminthesque parasite. The creature has a jaw at the front, which can be used to bite and chew its way into bodies. It's long and slender, looking
yeah.
almost like a worm, but darker in coloring. The range of size appears to be just a few inches in length to almost a
I just
foot
want to
in
point
some
out that I
areas
downed a
with the larger
Starbucks
variants.
drink
In
before
fact, I'm
streaming.
hesitant to say
My tummy
outright that it
feels
has an
very
exoskeleton, but it would appear that the
In a
skin
bad
is
way.
tougher and thicker than what we
Like
would imagine
sloshy.
on a standard parasite, and this is for a multitude of reasons. The first reason being that the
Meat
body on this
mecha.
hypothetical planet would be subjected to temperatures and extremes.
He also
in which
calls
case,
guns
the
force
body would need to be
multiplier.
stronger and more
Oh, no.
resilient in order to resist these ranges. On top of this, for this creature to even exist in the first place and not have starved out means that the fauna must have been able to resist the effects of it, meaning that the immune system of those creatures that it was planning on hunting or would be hunting would be effective at combating the devil worm. The thicker skin would be an arms race against the host to which the host could adapt. And this is the exact model that we have on Earth. A lot of people don't know that our bodies have uneasy truces all the time with parasites in some ways. As mentioned in my opening,
Yeah,
we are
the
finding
mark
more
of
and more
death.
that parasites can actually calm our immune systems, leading to less allergic reactions to random things. That said, don't go and get yourself infected with parasites intentionally, because it's
What if
still
I
an
want
emerging
to?
science. They're trying right now to figure out, okay, how do we have the effects of a parasite to calm the immune system without infecting people with worms? Because if we could figure out that chemical composition, then you don't have to be infected with a tapeworm. But the reason that all this even exists, this new emerging science in the first place, is society is so clean now, parasites in our first world countries are almost unheard of, and even when you get them, you take a pill, they're gone. This causes our immune system to possibly go and attack other
You
things.
know, I've
However,
always
we do
been
have a
terrified
toolkit
of
in our body at
parasites.
stopping other parasites who might not be as courteous of a guest, and so it does not get an uneasy truce, and they're really just out for blood. Should a parasite enter your body and begin replication
Yeah, it's-
portion of its life cycle,
I don't know
and
if it's
begin
a
to have it, the body will
irrational
begin
fear, but
attacking
it's
with
definitely
most
a
of what it
fear of
has.
mine.
Eosinophils, NKT cells as they attempt to burst it, protein inserts to jab into the outside of the parasite to attempt to lyse it. Basically, your body starts throwing hands like you wouldn't believe, and in a lot of cases, it's still not enough.
I think
Parasites
Japan
will
would be
continue to
really
spread
cool to
in your
live
body
in,
by using mechanisms
but
to
I
hide
don't think I
itself
would
amongst
wanna
the other
live there
cells, and eventually the body will
indefinitely.
become depleted in this fight. Things
Maybe
like
like a year or
malaria
two.
can cause this as the
I know
parasite
their
exits the liver cells and
work
begins
balance
attacking
is
the red blood
absolutely
cells and
horrid.
replicating further. This can ultimately lead to some pretty bad symptoms,
Larvae
and then if it's not
larvae
treated,
of
you're in.
tapeworms
However,
can
with other
resist our stomach
parasites, they will
acid.
release an immune system
Ew.
calming effect. In the immediate
Don't
area,
tell me
they can
that.
sort of
No,
trick your immune
stop
system
it.
into not attacking as aggressively, which in turn causes
Yeah.
inflammation in other areas to not be as high. We all like to think
Baby
that the immune
worms
system
in my
attacking
veins.
outright would be awesome, and this is definitely the thing to do. It's good, but the reality is, damage to
Why'd you
cells
say
caught in
that?
crossfire is common during a parasite
No.
incursion. This can
Stop
damage
talking.
the host and cause even more issues issues than what the original parasite would have even done in the first place. So now take those parasites that we have to deal with down here and then throw them onto another planet. You might just find that the parasites we deal with on a daily basis could completely overtake another ecosystem entirely. The devil worm, upon entering the body, is classified as a type of parasite that the body has no way, shape, or form the ability to pacify it. Likely the immune system would be going into full panic mode, attacking the parasite from what we have seen, but there is an issue. I believe that the parasite enters the cell of the body to replicate and begin the invasion process rather than just replicating in, say, like the bloodstream or the intestines like a tapeworm would. Again, parasites are incredibly good at infiltrating actual cells and moving inside, which in turn protects them from the outside threat of the body's defenses. And this is exactly what Plasmodium does in liver cells, which causes malaria. But the question is, where exactly does the infection start? I believe by pure happenstance, the devil worm infects the neurons of the brain first. Just decides to go there, and there's probably a reason for that. The human brain is a giant greedy nerd, if you didn't know. Despite only being 2% of the body weight in humans, it accounts for receiving 15 to 20% of the body's blood supply. The reasoning is, without this much oxygen and all those needed nutrients, the cells expire quickly. So if you take that into consideration, this area is well taken care of, gets adequate oxygen and nutrients as a first priority, and is incredibly stable. But possibly even the largest benefit to the devil worm is how neurons are immune privileged sites. The brain does have an immune system patrolling it, but it's incredibly tough to clear an infection because the immune system does not want to destroy the neurons in the process. It's like a mosquito landing on your boss's face. Are you gonna smack that mosquito? Probably not. But speaking of faces, as the devil worm attacks the face of a person, it would likely enter through one of the orifices or the eyes and then dig its way towards the brain. Once in, it would likely produce young, which would go into these actual neurons.
The worst part is I tried to look away and then I just looked at my other monitor, which is my stream.
Quite a few changes in the host behavior, leading to what we see. Which,
so I just looked at it twice.
A partial collaboration between Wild Such Gaming and I, but we actually legitimately had a phone call about this. We were discussing, okay, well, what does the parasite do? Where does it invade?
You are the parasite.
So this might sound a little familiar, but just this part. So I actually did my senior seminar paper over the parasite known as Toxoplasma gondii, or just refer to it as toxoplasmosis for short. Essentially, this parasite is an absolute shot to rodents. Getting into their brain shortly after infection, it will begin changing the entire behavior patterns of mice. Normally, mice will stick to the corners of walls or underbrush in order to stay out of sight of predators. However, that's not what the parasite wants, because ultimately, it wants to move into the digestive tract of predatory birds and cats. It will direct the mouse to begin wandering aimlessly in the center of rooms or out in the open in nature. Eventually, something is going to see this as an easy meal and scoop them up. It will even go as far as to cause the mouse to release dopamine whenever it smells cat urine, which in turn will make the mouse seek it out, which will lead it to be eaten. In humans, it has many neurological effects, but the one to me that seems the most calculated and crucial is that it will cause humans to also love the smell of cats. That crazy cat lady down the street with the 40 cats probably just has toxoplasmosis and she needs to go get checked out. They will get a dopamine hit when they smell cat urine and will adopt more cats as the parasite in their brain.
My mouse has been on screen. I'm sorry.
So basically, parasites live quite happily in your brain. With the devil worm, upon entering a portion of its life cycle
really bad for
begin overcrowding the brain, likely
if you ever have a pregnant wife, do not let them clean up
neurons. But also, when they burst out of those neurons of the brain, initially that will destroy them as well. We see that the brain actually can become inundated with these parasites, which has detrimental effects on the skull structuring. And some, in fact, their brains are completely exposed, as the skull appears to have been taken off with the force from the zygomatic bones to the back of the skull. This would imply that inward pressure was then pressing outwards. However, the brain does appear to be somewhat intact, but I severely doubt at this point that it's even remotely functional. With all connections severed and likely severe trauma from the compression before the skull was dislodged, the brain was likely pressed to the point that most, if not all, cells are quite literally worm food. With that said, it's easy to see that these people who are infected are still up and walking around. So the question is, how? Well, if we take a look at the burst skull, or outward appearance of the skin,
like I said,
pregnant people, brain. As the worms
it can be easier for them to get stuff
interacting
like
with the brain while it's still functional. It would appear to me that the worm begins tapping into areas of the brain associated with movement, which would be the cerebellum area. We can see several worms go towards the back of the brain and then dig in around mid-parietal lobe. These worms are likely in every infected and have similar structuring. They would get into the neurons, infest it, and could apply pressure to an area to inspire certain movements. Now, with that said, it would be highly intricate. The worms would have to pull at the right connections to operate the infected like a puppet, but it may be possible, and this is why they are called the ridden. The worms are quite literally riding their bodies by controlling movement through the cerebellum, amongst a few other other areas. Meanwhile, what made the person human, that being the cerebrum, was likely crushed and was being used as a breeding ground for the worms. This process
Which, if it makes you feel better
is
about
quite
it,
quick.
then
While
go
the worms
for it.
continue to grow in the brain, the initial
It's not
takeover
hurting
can
anymore.
happen in a matter of seconds. We see when the doc is pulling a man back who
I
is
used to
bitten,
wear
as she
gloves.
drags him inside, he begins struggling for control with his own body and then turns. It's entirely possible, due to the proximity of the cerebellum to the brainstem, that the worm is able to interact with both these areas, cutting the brain off from the body in a sense, isolating it in the skull, and then piloting the body. This would imply that the person is still there, alive somewhat, but they just have no control over their body. Much like the fungus in The Last of Us, at first they see everything they were doing as runners but had no control over it. So a shot to the brain case at this point
Yeah, this
is
is
a
a different
blessing
game.
more
This
than a
isn't the
curse.
game we're
So my
playing.
plan from here is to save the variants and common infected for a further breakdown video, and that'll be coming out soon. But the last thing I wanted to discuss was the actual flesh pits that we see when we talk about the variants.
Flesh
and it will make
pits.
more sense, because this actually isn't that
Oh, yeah.
crazy. I'm almost like surprised to a degree that as a species and as an animal, we don't have flesh pits now. Although something
Still
would actually
being
have
alive
to
with
keep
no
the
control
flesh
over your
pits
body.
alive. But
I
first,
mean,
something horrifying just for
there's
you
other
to know,
things like
there
that
was once
too,
a man
like,
who ended up contracting cancer. Oh yes, he contracted it. A helmet
like,
in his body
people
evidently
with dementia and
having
stuff.
cancer,
Do you-
and
like, when they
succumbing alongside
remember
it. The cells then went out
they have
from
dementia,
parasites and started
I guess it's
metastasizing
similar.
across his body before ultimately many of his organs were infected, and he ended up taking a dirt nap because of it. And that is just the worst bit of information I think I've ever learned in my life. But back to the main point, I believe the flesh pits are actually somewhat explainable by using standard biology. We know right now, as mentioned throughout this video, that the
Yeah,
parasites
dementia is
can enter the cells
terrifying.
and replicate much like any other
My
microorganism.
great-grandma
Upon
has
doing
it.
so, they will typically burst out of the cell, destroying it. But for the time being that they are protected from the immune system to
She
some
does
degree
not
by
remember
hiding,
me
I
at
believe
all.
what has happened is the infection continued to take hold. Neurons were no longer just the target, but the whole body was infested with these worms and the larvae they possessed. As new infection rates began to drop and less uninfected
Yeah, and
were
I
around, those who
already
may have
don't
been
have a
getting
great
nutrition
memory,
from those that they were
so,
attacking would begin to having
like,
their
I
bodies
legit
kind of
forget
undergo a process
things.
of degradation, because that is the law of
And they
biology.
do not come
Don't
back
have
to
nutrients
me.
going in, your body will begin to wither
And they're
succumb.
important
After a few
things,
weeks
or,
with
like,
no stimulation
sometimes
from
I can't
infected, bodies began
for the life of me
accumulating in areas
remember
as the
what I
worms
did
had
the day
succeeded
before.
in getting everyone possible
Like,
in the
at all.
area. It would appear the worms have their own
And it will not
natural
come back to me, and I
compulsion
have to
build
ask.
creatures to make themselves more successful, as well as what we have seen with
Like,
the larger variants. Upon accumulating in an area, a
ask my
change will begin
roommate, like,
happening with the
what
larvae
did we
inside
do
the cells
yesterday?
themselves, or possibly a chemical that the devil worm releases. Regardless, the
There was one
outcome is the
time that
same.
I
The
forgot
cells
how to
will go
use,
from team human to team cancer.
like,
Well,
my-
they go from team
my
human
drawing
to team ridden to
tablet.
team cancer. Tripping the
And I
mitotic
had
pathways and likely
actual
switching off
panic
the genes
attack.
known as P53 or TP53 mutations
And
or
I couldn't
missing
remember
actually results
for an
in over
entire
half the
day.
cancer cases that we see currently. Now you may be sitting there and ask yourself, like, okay, their bodies get
My
cancer,
memory
why does
is
that
not
matter? Well,
good.
there are several things with cancer that even to this day we
Hooray.
aren't really sure why it exists the way it does. But imagine it's almost like you turning back the clock on
Yeah,
a cell,
I
going
forget
from
a lot of things.
multicellular to single cell. The cancer cell is really just out for
Don't
itself.
worry,
whereas
the
normal
first stage
cells
dementia
are working
will have you
together to
remembering
keep
old
it
stuff.
alive. And that's
Well,
why,
that might not
I don't
affect
like
me
cussing my
because
videos, but cancer is a biological
remember
little
most of my
bitch.
childhood
But the
for
diverting
trauma
pathways
reasons.
in cells is displayed extremely readily with the remains of a woman named Henrietta Lacks. I mentioned her before in other
Thanks,
videos, but
clever.
essentially in 1951 she went in and it was discovered that she had cervical cancer. She ended up succumbing later, but they took some of those cancer cells, and to this day we still use those cells to experiment on concerning cancer treatments and medications. Overall, the key is we can still grow them. Taking a regular cell from the human body and attempting to grow it in laboratory settings is extremely difficult. For some reason, our cells just do not do well outside of our bodies. Cancer cells
makes
that were
sense.
once you, however, do extremely well. Given nutrients and oxygen, they will continue to thrive and grow like any other single-celled organism under the same conditions. Cancer can survive without you, it seems, but unchecked, malignant cancer growth will ultimately result in you not surviving. I believe the flesh pits that we are seeing throughout
Just
are
cancer.
these. Once the bodies begin to degrade and slow down, the devil worm would compel the host to go near others. Here, they begin breaking down into cancerous masses and continuing to grow. Likely, some bodies would be used as pure nutrition, and this may explain why all of the missing animals are being talked about. The flesh we see is what amounts to human cancer on a large scale. The missing animals that the people rarely talk about are being absorbed and used for nutrition, which is why we see actually a bovine skeleton picked clean in one of the flesh pits. As the cancer pile of flesh becomes more and more sustained. Eventually, this would lead to variants, which we have seen. Because they are essentially cancer, they can exist basically shaped and structured. Not to mention the devil worm's ability to interact with the actual genetics of a person. It is not just the person being ridden, but quite literally, even down to a cellular level, the cells are being ridden.
Okay, hey, shh. Shush. Hold on. Yeah, I liked it. I'm gonna show you the game that I was talking about that we're gonna play. Because it is different. IGN posted this. Better than nothing. Co-op horror shoot.
From our nightmares.
No, you're good.
To make us new ones. A descent into a vast underground complex. Where every resource scavenged
Quiet,
might give you
sneaky.
one more chance. There's only one rule.
Let us just get in and get out.
Bring it what it wants. Or die
Back.
in the dark.
In the dark.
No sudden moves.
Where the monsters wait.
They're all over us!
Thank you.
Over here! I found it! Grab the item! Close the door! Close the door!
Why are we here? What terrible things do we do to deserve such hell? All we know is we'll have to work together, or we'll die together.
What do you think? Do you think it looks spooky? Fun to watch. Game you can add to your list is Liquidators. It's the name of the people who were sent to Chernobyl nuclear building after it exploded. Boy. Sounds interesting. Is that on Steam? There was something to control damage. How many of them died? I'm just curious. Do you know that off the top of your head? I'm gonna go look at it now. Something with little more than a cloth for no. Oh god, so they all died. 10K? Jesus. Liquidator. Bombs. It's free. Yeah, cancer. Me jail? Okay, what button is that? 2. I've been put into jail. The library. It's got overwhelmingly positive reviews. Is there a monster in it? It's estimated that 112 to 125,000 died. No monster? Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. That's so many. What the heck? That's true. Over 10k. That is over 10k. Alright. Yeah, I'll look at it. I'll add it to the wheel. How about that? Let's add it to the wheel. Gonna turn this off. Got too many tabs open. Some of them are stream related. I don't want to spoil anything. For a second the wheel was blank, and then it loaded in, and I was gonna freak out. Okay, the things on our wheel are Alien, FNAF, The Slide in the Woods, balls, not balls, Pumpkin Panic, Parasocial, Home Safety Hotline, Cryptid Crash, Adventures with Anxiety, and Liquidators. There's a small waiting area in the start, and if you stay in there for too long, your supervisor radios you. If you are scared, don't worry, we all are. Oh no! Ugh. Just add balls to anything, it will be 100 times better. 90% of what the wheel was suggested by me. That's okay. Listen, we are a small channel. We are a small Twitch. That's okay. Not many people's got inputs on it. Kinda funny. Goofy even. What was I gonna do? What are we doing now?
Little baby man, 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 little.
Hi! I was about to shout out Spencer. If you play Liquidators, I recommend you lose at least once. Oh gosh. Thanks for shouting yourself out.
She messaged me. She said, "F you, give me TTS." So I said, "Give me rent."
Give me rent.
Give me
You
rent.
get your rent when you end this damn TTS. Clip it. Like my chat, but clip it.
What the heck did she send me? Hang on, I'm gonna screenshot.
I have no idea. Counter Balls 2, Border Balls 2, Balls underscore Gamer 1, John Balls, Cyber Balls, Spider-Man reference, I'm confused, Cyber Ball 77. I was gonna dredge, but I've got a bit of a headache, so we're just chatting. Cyberball etched. Clever. Early end for you? You were gonna stream longer? How long did you stream for? This'll underscore balls. 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 Thanks. We just finished watching a video. Do you want to go into VC and watch videos on stream? Cyberball. Dick runners. Eyes got wheels use. No meme now. Did you watch Edge Runners? I don't think I did. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it. Did I? Edge Runners? Maybe I was too distracted. Or I'm confused. Oh! That's why, because I didn't know there was more to the name. Yeah, I saw Cyberpunk. I like it. Addin. Did you guys know that Adam Sandler is the voice actor for Dracula in Hotel Transylvania? You know that? Fun facts with Tristan. I said Tristan. Thistle! I'm tired. I'm not stinky, you're stinky. He was the big cyborg guy? You did know? Man, I don't have any fun facts for you. Only Clever has the fun facts. You only watched it in Portuguese? Well, I guess that makes sense. You have crap facts, but they are facts I didn't know. So it doesn't matter. Fun facts most of the time are not fun. Yes. Someone do a frog fact. Let's read one. Frogs are made out of frog. Thanks, Nightbot. You're sure so smart. So smart. A group of frogs is called an army. That's true. That's very true. When I was trying to figure out what to name you guys, I was like, man, I can't do army because one, that's already been done, and two, it's cringe. There's an African frog called Buffus? Is that Buffus or Boofus? It's Buffus, right? The world's largest frog species is known as a Goliath frog. I know, and they're really cute. I like them. I only know that because a Brazilian YouTuber made a video where he called pet stores over the phone and asked them if they had food for How confused were they? Very, right? There was one time I walked into my local pet store and they didn't normally have frogs, but this day they had a few different kinds, and they have like the Pac-Man frogs and the tree frogs. But they actually had a marine toad, and I wanted to bring him home so bad because he looked so terrible. They did not take care of him. And I feel so sad that I couldn't take him home. Brazil is home to at least one frog species. Yeah. A bit confused, but I think they were more confused when his friend called back. I was like, sir, you need to help me. My cousin, he thinks I'm a frog. He's been feeding me insects. Oh no. Microfrog, or Cape Flats frog, is a species of frog less than 2 centimeters, 0.8 inches long, in the family. I'm not gonna try and pronounce that. Its color varies from rufus brown with dark molting to tan or green depending on the population. I wonder why. Yeah, you guys are. I was also thinking about naming you guys toadlets because toadlets are really cute, but I figured that froglets caught on better than toadlets would. But I don't know. Did you guys know that pumpkin toadlets can't land when they jump? They have no control over their landing. So they look really goofy when they jump. The Landseer is a dog that originated in Canada. It is a black and white variety of the Newfoundland. Are you copying and pasting facts in my chat? Yes. Do more frog fact reading. Frog fact. In 2010, the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship was won by a first turn kill frog deck. Wow. Where'd you get that frog fact? I was having a stroke over the fact that you said 2010 and Yu-Gi-Oh! In the same sentence. And I was like, oh yeah, no, that's right. Wait, hold on. So yeah, the Goliath frog is really cool. Goliath frog, otherwise known commonly. Hold on, chat, scrolling. Hold on. Commonly as the giant slippery frog and the Goliath bullfrog, is a species of frog in the family I can't read that. Goliath frog is the largest living frog. Specimens can grow up to 32 centimeters in length from snout to vent and weigh up to 3.25 kilograms. So basically, yeah. Newfoundlands are big fluffy dogs, and some people have mistaken them as bears because they are huge. Frogs are awesome. Are awesome deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's hilarious. I would have to agree. Google Newfoundland. I know what a Newfoundland is. I know. I'll do it anyway, but I know. They're so fluffy. The dog that I want, I keep forgetting the name of it. They look similar to Newfoundland, so they're just not as big. They're like medium-sized dog. Portuguese. This be the weirdest name for a dog breed. Brazilian amphibian. Guys, you're breaking my brain. I feel like this is a good stream to fall asleep to. How much hair does Newfoundland like lose daily? Like, this feels like a dog you have to brush more than once a week. Have good sleep, Clever. Bye bye. They don't? Really? But they're so dense. What is the, like, white dog that loses a lot of... What are they called? Yeah, that, a Samoyed. I love Samoyeds, but I could not deal with the hair loss. I also don't want a dog that rolls a lot, which is sad because I want a big dog, but The drool outweighs my want for a big dog. I really don't like drool. I know all pets drool, but like bigger dogs tend to drool a lot more. My friend, my best friend, she has a gosh, what is it? Why can't I remember? No. A mastiff. She has a mastiff, which is massive, and he drools so much, and it's so gross. But he's just happy. He's excited and happy to see you, and then he gets drool all over your clothes. I want a wire hair dachshund. A wire hair? Oh, and they're goofy. They're goofy. Well, I think I'm gonna end up with a Jack Russell or a Fox Terrier, which look very similar. They're good dogs. Look at some Fox Terriers. There's a Fox Terrier Dachshund mix. Oh, they're cute. So short. Low maintenance and very social. That's good. Fox Terrier is like what's that one movie about the dog and the fox? And they're like best friends. There's a Fox Terrier in that movie. So if you want a pain, no, I do know what a Malamute. Malamute. Woken in the middle of the night because of howling? No, thank you. I can't get a loud dog. I'm probably gonna be in an apartment for a long time. Can't have loud dog. Can't have loud pet. I want to look at Fox Terriers. I guess I could have my screen share on. But then I'm sorry there's no like background music or anything. My head will just explode if I go from watching videos and playing music back and forth. Wolf dogs are massive sometimes, honestly. Oh, I've seen wolf dogs are cool. Fox Terriers are annoying ADHD dogs. I just wanted to look at them. I'll probably end up with a Jack Russell. I definitely, but this is like the cartoon dog, you know. No, I used to have a Jack Russell Terrier, and she was the sweetest. She wasn't very loud at all. Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at this little puppy. So cute. Tibetan Mastiff is the highest maintenance dog I've ever seen. I don't know what kind of Mastiff my friend has, but here, let's look. I'll point him out if I see him. Mastiff. There's Mastiff Terriers. He looks like this kind of. Oh. This. His name is Brutus, but he is afraid of everything. He's a little scaredy cat. So Brutus isn't really a fitting name. Look at a Tibetan Mastiff. Okay. I'm gonna copy and paste. Oh, they're so fluffy. They're so fluffy. Hi, Teeny. Hi. What are we looking at? Puppies. I'm learning things. I've never seen this dude. Look at him. Unlucky is teaching me about dogs. Puppy. We were gonna dredge today, but got a bit headache, so it's mostly silent stream. Except for if you do exclamation point balls. Do it. I dare you. Balls. Beautiful, beautiful. Balls. So true. So true. The mods have power. The bed mastiffs are annoying to take care of. Oh, just take care of. Yeah, because look at this boy. He's so fluffy. Oh my god. Oh, these are small. Reverb goes on. I had to add it because of that. It's a slight inside joke. Referring to a YouTube video. Curtis Connor, I think his name is. It's a video, it's Bratz versus Barbie movies. Referring to balls, I get it. There's a part in the video, in the YouTube video, where Curtis is talking about the Barbie movie Rapunzel, and he's talking about how Gothel gets invited to a whole bunch of balls, and for some reason he made it reverbed, and I love it, so we had to add it to balls. Yeah, they're definitely massive. Not the balls, the dog. Oh, he's angry. Showing the teeths. I can show my teeths. Okay, we're gonna go actual size. There. This is quality content, right? Tiny. Little tiny guy. They're also kind of... This display is an aloof, stubborn. Me too! Watchful and alert temperament. Can make a great guardian and loyal family dog because they're so loyal to their family. You can be suspicious of strangers, and introductions need to be made carefully. I just feel like having a dog like that is great for some people, but it's like it's scary for me. Like, would it? I'm sure not a great dog trainer. And what if my dog freaks out and bites someone? Not that I want to be a bad trainer, but I just don't think I'd be great at it. So I need to find a dog good for me. Look at this dude! Look at this dude! What is this dude doing? What are you doing? He's thinking up some angry thoughts that he'll speak about later. Ugh. Jeannie, how'd your stream go? I noticed you were live when I started to go live. or before. Sometimes I lurk. Lurk while I get my stream ready. We were watching, I was showing off a game that we're gonna be playing. Is it next week? No, 2 weeks from now? On the 19th. On the 19th, we're doing a special stream where everyone uses bits and donos to scare me with jump scares. So we're playing a bunch of horror games with multiplayer horror games with a bunch of friends. If you want to join, Teeny, you can. Just have to tell me and I'll send you the game list if you're interested. Just saying. I was just showing off the game trailer. A first dog should be a dog with an easygoing character, but is loyal, but training a dog is not that hard. It's just about showing when they are bad and when they are good with treats or punishments. Yeah, I can't punish my dog. I guess my punishments would be no treats. I would like to crate train them though. The type of crate training where it's just like, go to your crate, but you don't shut the door. So they can leave if they want to, but... And I also hate when people don't let their dogs on their couches or their beds. Like, they're part of the family, let them cuddle up with you. Like, it's rude. I don't get it. Kim, were you excited to play GTFO? I am. Gotta go buy it. Maybe I should try playing a game. I think I don't have to think as much. I don't know. When people have problems with dogs, it's most of the time because the dog thinks they are the leader of the group. Ow. Can you hear the dog downstairs barking? This is a little chihuahua. It's so loud. Guys, I feel like this is probably close to what ASMR stream day will be. I forget what, I think the goal is 750 followers. And I'm gonna put that on my list when I make the ad for the 19th. I don't know what to call it. Except I'll be reading bedtime stories. Make you go honk shoe. might just end stream. I'm sorry. This headache has stuck around. Balls. I don't have the energy to raid anyone either. Womp womp. Womp womp. Womp womp. Man, I still haven't found my own womp womp. What do I do? What should my womp womp be? I don't know. Balls. It's balls. Thank you for the pets. Thank you. Thank you. But they're there. Pet pet. You wanna play a game, gamer? Yo. It's 9 o'clock. Where do I work tomorrow? Let's see. Oi! Oi! Balls. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I work 9 to 4. Oh no, do I have a way? Oh. Look. It's 4:20. No, it's not. No, it's not. You liar. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna end stream. I'm sorry I didn't dredge today. I'm sorry. Let's see what we're doing tomorrow. Well, tomorrow we're playing Parasocial. Starting at 5 p.m. EST. That's a horror game about VTubers. At least I think it is. I didn't look at it too much. No spoilers, but it's very popular right now because it's a Chill's art game and it came out recently. Get to vote for movie night in the Discord, which will be voting ends right before the movie starts, so Sunday. Sunday fun. 7 p.m. EST. Right now, Coraline is winning. Also, Corpse Bride and Paranorman are in the vote too. Okay, see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye bye. Bye bye. Bombs. Bombs.